wanna get it crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. We wanna get it crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Get money.
shot to death last night. Now you're lying in my bed. Must have been a dream last night, but I can hear what you're saying. You were shot to death last night. Where's my cup of coffee? I was dreaming something bad last night. Can't you hear what I'm saying? One gunshot, and I forgot to look at you, to look at you, to look at you, to look at you. Two gunshots, and my thoughts. We're not with you, we're not with you, we're not with you, we're not with you. You were shot to death last night, and I thought of someone else. Didn't care about your life last night, at least less than about his. All our dreams were shot to death last night. I see the clock stand still. Nightmares at your heart sometimes, but this is unbelievable. One gunshot, and I forgot to look at you, to look at you, to look at you, to look at you. Two gunshots, and my thoughts. We're not with you, we're not with you, we're not with you, we're not with you.
back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again, we back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again, we back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends.
So hard to see the light when the weight of the world is mine. But oh no, I will not resign, and I am biting my tongue. No, I ain't gonna run. This is the battle I choose, and I'm gonna win. I ain't gonna lose. Sticks and stones won't break my bones. As long as I am breathing, yeah, I will stand tall. Take me down, shut me out. You ain't never, ever gonna see me bow. I'll do anything to prove you wrong. As long as I am breathing, yeah, I still stand tall. See me stumble, see me fall. You ain't never, ever gonna see me crawl. You can try and shoot me with your dirty lies. You can try and cut me with your sharpened eyes. Like the dust and like the tide, still I rise. Ain't nobody who will ever bring me down. Ain't nobody who can take away my crown. Like the dust and like the tide, still I rise. I keep on banging my drum, 'cause the best is yet to come. So I keep holding on. I'll do anything to prove you wrong. As long as I am breathing, yeah, I still stand tall. See me stumble, see me fall. You ain't never, ever gonna see me crawl. You can try and shoot me with your dirty lies. You can try and cut me with your sharpened eyes. Like the dust and like the tide, still I rise. Ain't nobody who will ever bring me down. Ain't nobody who can take away my crown. Like the dust and
Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break, bang to the break, bang to the break, bang, 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 bang. I'm a boss, and you know that I'm finna shine. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Got the money in the bank. Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the bank. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Hit you with the Hit you with the 808. Bang to the break, bang to the break, bang to the break, bang, 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 bang. on and get it.
Welcome back to VCT Game Changers APAC. It has been one really hot minute, ladies and gentlemen, but we are back indeed. It is Zach and myself, Nika Fabs, here on the panel, and we have Go Cyrene versus Sapphire. And this is a clear David and Goliath story. I mean, there's no beating around the bush, especially when, Zach, you're up against, the team that represented us at the VCT Game Changers Champions.
Exactly. Again, sorry for the long delay, bit of technical issues. We live in APAC, it always happens, but I think finally we're going to be heading into the game. And like my wonderful co-caster Mika mentioned, of course, we did talk a little bit about how Sapphire, they are one of the favorites heading into this particular tournament. They represented us on that international forum. They placed top 6, and heading into this so far, they've had a pretty dominant run, I would say, in that bracket with only 1 loss so far. So I think that they've already played Cyrene. They had like a really strong result, 13-1 on Ascent, the map that they played. And before, I think that we will be heading into map beta pretty soon. That will play like a major factor into what exactly we can expect from these girls. Because like you mentioned, Mika, it is a David and Goliath kind of very strong contender going up against someone that's relatively like an unknown quantity. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to go.
But it could also be like a double-edged sword, I guess, on the side of Sapphire, right? Because there is, we have this unknown team, I guess. Sapphire also doesn't quite know what they're going to bring to the table. And that's what's going to be so interesting for Go Cyrene here as we head into map select, especially since, there's a lot of information out there on Sapphire already. There's so many VODs here. As for Go Cyrene, they haven't shown all of the cards that's in their hand quite yet. So right now we can see we're going into Haven, Ascent, and then potentially Fracture. So Go Cyrene have shown that they are comfortable on Haven. This has popped up quite a lot in their, recent competitive experience. But again, the teams have faced off against each other, as you mentioned, Zach, and it wasn't exactly very pretty.
Oh, that's an understatement for sure. I mean, looking at the map beta that we have, we talk like number one, it's going to be Haven, a map that both of these teams, but especially I would say the side of Sapphire, they look super comfortable on it. In fact, we talked about that rivalry between them and what is now currently RRQ Kaguya, and they managed to 13-2 RRQ Kaguya on Haven. So definitely one of their stronger maps heading into this particular one. That's why it's going to be their pick. Ascent as well, number 2, it's going to be chosen by Cyrene, which I personally find really interesting. But I think that at the end of the day, it's a map that every single team and individual player has had a lot of practice on. It's been around for a while. It's not one of those newer meta picks like Lotus or even Perlas, where things are just kind of like coming into shape and you need they're more comfortable on that. So I think it will come down to that comfort pick. Sure, the last time around, they didn't do too hot against the side of Sapphire, but hey, maybe they put in the work. Maybe they went through their watts. Maybe they figured out a solution. And I think that will be the key to whether they can lock that map number 3 that decider on Fracture.
Yeah, and you brought up again, Ascent, where they did face off against each other. I think it's like a case of Go Cyrene saying, we would rather fight you on a map that we know we know we can read you. There is a track record. We kind of already know what to expect, rather than a map where we have no idea what to expect, especially up against a powerhouse like Sapphire. And I'm really curious as to how we're going to be seeing the Asian compositions going into these maps, especially since I'm curious, are we going to see Twirly on that duelist since she performed so well last year on that role? Are we going to see some role switches coming in here, especially since this is a brand new team for her?
I mean, I'm definitely curious for that as well, because Twirly, I think one of my favorite things about her was how dynamic she was as a duelist. She had one of the best movements on the server. I think that most of the time she was picking up that neon for Sapphire on maps that really kind of necessitated that fill. That's when you'd really see the switch between Mikasi and Twirly coming into play on Brent Victress. But new Sapphire, new year, we don't know who's going to be playing and what they will. I mean, they haven't changed their team, so that's the only thing that's not new for them. Aside from that, though, for Sapphire, I don't think we're going to be seeing that much in the terms of role changes. But for Cyrene, like you mentioned, of course, Twirly is a factor. Zinni is a factor as well. I think the last time that they played Haven, they did recently well in the Swiss stage. They were able to like kind of put Twirly on that Reyna and Jet that she really kind of excels at. But everybody else was able to kind of step up the role as well. I think one more role switch that we are seeing for Cyrene is that of Heidi or KDG as she is preferred to be known right now. Did prefer to go on that Sova info initiator role a lot last year, but now she seems to be in that kind of flex position where she, goes between the Killjoy and the Viper. So I think that this team, they've definitely proven to have like a lot of flexibility and a lot of dynamics around their role. I don't know if that can be attributed to them just settling in, or if it, it's a question of them more being like, we're gonna try and figure out what works. But talking about what works, we do have the agent select available, and Twirly is gonna be on that Jet, Mika.
Yes, she is going to be on that Jet, and she's facing off against Muffin on that Jet as well on the side of Sapphire.
Oh, yeah.
You mentioned how Muffin is potentially like the best player in APAC, and you're giving such high prices for her. So I love this head-to-head. Let's check it out as we head into Haven right now. Let's toss it on over to our casters.
Woo!
It's finally time here, ladies and gentlemen. Finally time to get into our open. Welcome one and all to Game Changers. My name is Dax here with Taylor, and I'm just glad we're gonna get started here, Taylor. It's been quite a journey.
Oh, it's a long
waiting.
wait.
It's been a very long break. All the jitter is gone, but it's all about the serious action now. This is a matchup that we actually saw in the Swiss stage, but didn't really get the way we wanted. Go Cyrene versus Sapphire.
Exactly, like Dax mentioned already, and like the panelists also mentioned a while ago, there's a lot at stake, or a revenge arc when it comes to these two teams that we have currently. But at the same time, I have to say, I'm finally happy to be back on the desk. Last time I was here, Dax, I was playing for FSL Showdown, and we lost. My team captain was Alexi, and now I know why I'm exactly at the caster's desk. I think I belong here, and I think this is the future for me, you know?
Sometimes they say if you can't do, you teach. I guess if you can't play, you cast. There you go. Get back to that casting desk. And come on, we all know Taylor Guy is one of the best talents, not just on the English side, Filipino side too. Multilingual, by the way. But of course, we only speak one language right now. It's this matchup on Haven. Go Cyrene versus Sapphire. And I'm really excited for this one, Taylor, because all in all, I've seen the results for both Go Cyrene and Sapphire. Go Cyrene have been pretty effective at it in the Swiss stage itself, but Sapphire, going back to their X10 days, they were just dominant all throughout the Game Changer circuit.
Yeah, not only that though, this is also to pertain to, of course, for the players of Sapphire, they have targets on their backs, probably, and basically on this kind of setup, in this kind of setting here in Game Changers. And having that target on the back is actually also something to think of. And the factor going forward is that there's such a big dynamic change when it comes to Game Changers, especially when it comes to the offseason. But nevertheless, we are finally here. Game number 1, pistol round it is. It's GOC versus Sapphire. And so far, very quiet take.
Yeah, new year for the defending captains, technically. They went international to represent APAC. We are starting off with a push towards the inside. Self-Muffin already. Look for a target. Twirly goes down first and foremost. You can see for Sapphire, the fast execute. See the heat check of Go Cyrene on the other side. Paulie finding Jilly too. It's already 3v2 quickly.
Last player standing.
Can they even contest here? Delbisky fighting back, sure. Making it 2v1. Plant now coming in from Ginny. Trike on cover, and it will be Baby TC or Strike now with the takedown. Pistol goes Sapphire's way.
Fast take and fast win. That's what rather Sapphire would do here on our first map. And it's pistol round actually. They went for that execution.
Last
they
player
went
standing.
all in 100%, and obviously they got the kills as well. And then with that, Sapphire gets the lead here, 1-0. On a pistol, I think it's very essential, especially for the players right now of Game Changers, or even if you, in a retrospect around VCT, that pistol rounds are very essential. This is your stepping stone towards that momentum.
And speaking of momentum, look at Go Cyrene. Actually, let's go. Screw it, they say. Frenzy at the helm. Twirly, of course, the star of the show to watch out for. But Sapphire is so prepared towards lobby. They're ducking cover behind the box. And now they're just boxing out the rest of Go Cyrene. Margot gets 2, and there's still someone there. Trike's still around. See how this trade happens. But as the plan comes towards that A side, Paulie's there for cleanup duty. And it will be Sapphire making it 2-0 so quickly here, Terror.
Knowing that they had the advantage when it comes to the guns, obviously, you have that better advantage already, as I was talking about, in getting those rounds as well, or getting an easy 2-0. But if you think about it, the aggressiveness that GOC showed throughout here on the defense itself might have been an option for them to actually take the round. Unfortunately enough, again, with a disadvantage when it comes to the guns, it's just an easy spray down coming in from Sapphire right here. But the real problem is now, or the real round starts as we go onto the first buy round of Go Cyrene right here.
Yep, the PH squad, they're ready with the rifles. Emma Presto, Sapphire still showing how much expertise they have on Haven. Let's not forget, this is the map they took away in the international scene. I believe that was against way back when. Also, of course, those victories against Alpha Eagle Celeste last year really defining their grand finals run. Speaking of, though, Sapphire, they're already prepared towards this A site. We have KDG waiting inside the smoke. So go Cyrene, the plan perhaps for the retake here, Terror.
Right now, the aftershock going in with a drone coming out as well, but flashed out right now. KDG with a double kill and Twirly to get another here. 4v1 situation. The defense working out and a good retake, a good execution coming in right now from Go Cyrene, but Trike is not yet done with his post plan, and still in the end, it is gonna go towards the side of Go Cyrene. A very, very good start right here on the first buy that they had, but really expensive as well.
Yeah, a bit of cost there for Go Cyrene. I do have to say, though, these rounds are going so quickly there, or you can see
know.
As soon as Sapphire says, let's fight, we go at it, and Go Cyrene absolutely happy to oblige. The flank they're covered, though, by the end. They found out where Trike was coming from, and they got that takedown. A good lurk, though, towards that A-Link, especially to get good angle. And the shoe now on the other foot here, Terror. We got the guns ready for Sapphire. That was their bonus. This time it's their buy.
This time it is definitely a buy round. And right now, so far, for the players of Sapphire, Recon to detect some info, getting intel onto the site themselves. But Muffin, so far, ready to take on the charge here. Ready to take on the lead. And now, with a fault line coming in, maybe an execution as Muffin takes one. He's looking to try to find another here, but so far, for Go Cyrene, they might want to do a retake instead.
It's so well coordinated here for Sapphire. As soon as they realize someone's still on site,
You
they
should
capitalize on that position, especially with the breach in tow. Lockdown now the call towards default. Even more AoE actually here for Sapphire. So they're really trying to zone out Go Cyrene as much as possible. Respect though. Getting respect. The Sofa's already dead. Miha cannot use anything from the grave. You can see it now. Ginny prepared, trying to get that intel. Go Cyrene funneling through the link, and Sapphire is so prepared here. Trike and Ginny just wasting away the opposition with utility. It's a trap set, sprung, and perfectly executed here by Sapphire.
There's just too many traps on the site itself. As soon as you go through a link, you're just set upon with a fault line, and aside from that, a nanobot, or rather, Swarm Nade was right upon them, waiting patiently until they peek. And this is such a good, obviously, a good take coming in from Sapphire, knowing that the discipline is there when it comes to the post-plant position, and knowing that setting upon these traps just make it way harder for Go Cyrene to take on the rounds. I'm actually quite surprised here. I didn't get to mention a while ago, Dax, that our map number 2 was actually chosen by Go Cyrene as well, and it's Ascent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, a bit of a rematch from their Swiss stage that didn't really pan out
also
the way
Haven.
they wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, Haven's something these two want to play. My only concern though, since of course this is Sapphire's pick right now, right? Go Cyrene, they have that expertise, especially through their Swiss stage, as this unit alone, with a, I believe, a 5-1 standing all throughout. So it was impressive. But on the other side, Swirly now, impressions from before, impressions again. Foley goes down, and that's one way to break the Sapphire offense here. Shut down that breach, remove that first step from the execute.
Good initial pick-off coming in from Go Cyrene right now. Think about it. A little bit broken by on the hands of Go Cyrene on the defense itself. But yet again, this is the defense. Can set some traps. You have some ults as well you can play around with. KDG has the lockdown, but this is now the entry. The shorty not hitting at all. Shrike with a double kill to start things off. And right now for Sapphire, they're planning the spike, going for that execute, and now onto the post plant.
Good efforts there with the shorty, sure, but wasn't quick enough to pull that trigger. Margo on cleanup duty now again. Here we have it. Backside being watched out for by Sapphire. They just went for the rotation. They knew a hero rifle was there towards that A side. They went for the lesser arsenal on the opposite end of the map instead. They're just waiting here for Sapphire, prepared with a triple peek if ever. Crossfire sent. Miha all alone. Isolates the duel though. Margo will go down. Perhaps the second target. It's Ginny now. Just using herself for intel here. Over onto the corner. Muffin's just waiting, lurking, watching. And finding the opposition again. It's another one here for Sapphire.
You can truly see the discipline that Sapphire really has right now, especially on the post plants itself. You really don't see anyone peeking anymore as soon as they step onto an angle which they want to hold on to. And aside from that, despite the efforts here of Go Sapphire, of Miha trying to angle differentiate everyone basically and try to get those 3 pick-offs one by one, it's just not enough, especially if no one is peeking onto the site and the pressure of the time is with you and you have no intel at all. 4-1, and so far Sapphire has been doing great execution, applying Hunter's Fury towards the other way, and he actually, or rather, she actually got a kill. That's towards Margo, which is actually huge. Dax is a controller down for Sapphire.
Straight up start of the round, just going gangster like that. Bringing out the Hunter's Fury, a good beginning. And you mentioned it, smokes now. Not on the resume of Sapphire this time around. It'll be difficult here. Flash comes on through, and Jaylee looking to go for the punish towards Muffin. Double updraft right now to get in position yet again. Jaylee does go down, and it's Polly here, finding 2 of her own. Immediately, the efforts there from Go Cyrene gone to the wayside. These quick executes from Sapphire just so effective all throughout there.
Definitely is effective, and if you think about it, Sapphire is holding on to so many angles, and aside from that, so many utilities as well. Fault line ready up for Polly, but not expecting Turley to actually come out from Windows right here, but Ginny is right there to take on the trade. It's still a 2v1 situation, and Sapphire right now is holding on to the post plan as Mia tries again for the second time around.
Saw him there towards the backside, sure, taps it yet again. The wraparound though finds the timing towards strike, and it's Ginny all alone in a 1v1, but time running out. Miha will just call it a day. And Sapphire yet again, despite losing a first target there, Taylor, despite losing the Astra early on, they're still able to make it through and make the round happen.
And not only that too, if you think about it for Go Cyrene here, when it comes to the retakes that they were bound to do, it just seems like they're too overwhelmed from Sapphire, especially coming in onto the site that fast, that quick. And the utility usage here from Sapphire as well. We've seen multiple recons connect to the players of Go Cyrene, and I feel like if they just take a little bit more of a step back and take it on as a bigger perspective, they might be able to make a retake happen here a little bit more cleaner than what we are seeing right now. But Turley onto mid with a blade. Oh, didn't see one, but yet again fighting for her life. Turley gets a double. As soon as Muffin shuts her down, it's still a battle here onto mid. But so far, it's a back off for the rest of the team of Sapphire.
Yeah, and I like your point there, Taylor, before Turley really popped off to get 2 with the blades. It does feel like Go Cyrene right now is still playing way too much into the style, into the speed of Sapphire, when they can try to play control instead. They still have that breach. They still have that killjoy. They have ways to just slow down what Sapphire is trying to do. And it's challenging, and unfortunately for them, they're losing out because of it. Lesser buys, lesser guns, and lesser rounds to boots. Another one bites the dust. Aldro right now here from Miha to get the intel.
Ahead.
Only problem, this is such a difficult arsenal to work with on the retake. You have an operator in one, you have the sheriff on the other here for KDG. You really have to rely on those single shots to hit. At this point on, Sapphire yet again just committed on the called self-strike. They'll go for the duel, but ducks into the shot. KDG, stellar takedown there. 2v2 now from afar. Might actually be a chance here for Go Cyrene because of that operator. If this is going to be the long angle, Sapphire wants to play. Muffin lobbing that cloudburst, challenging, forcing them to move into cover, but KDG does it yet again. Stall now from Marco though, trying to find the target, and will be able to lock onto Miha. And that's another one here for Marco. Clutch this time for Sapphire.
At some point, at some degree, Dax, Go Cyrene just thought that, hey, we gotta pick off It is a 2v1 in the end, and they could have done it. Unfortunately enough, again and again, Sapphire just takes them down with discipline. The discipline of not over-peaking, not overextending, especially on the post plant, really hurts for Go Cyrene right now. They just have to keep on putting pressure here towards the side of Sapphire, and it just seems to be not so enough right now as of the moment. And with this timeout, hopefully, I was gonna say that they need a timeout right now, but hopefully, towards the latter part of the rounds that we are looking at, they get a little bit more comfortable with the pacing that Sapphire is giving them. And aside from that, it's also a big loss towards that operator on the defense in that last round. But fortunately enough, for Go Cyrene, for this specific round, or this specific next round that we have, they still have money for that operator as well.
Yeah, they're gonna pick up another one, but then that does beg the question, how will Go Cyrene use this operator efficiently? Perhaps if it was the one covering long instead, rather than the push. Don't get me wrong, KDG, incredible shots there with the Sheriff, but if you're gonna be playing an op like that, and you still have to deal with the Astra, someone needs to cover, someone needs to give. And it seems like that's the problem right now for Go Cyrene. They have the mechanics to do so, to get these takedowns. But decision-making here from Sapphire, a lot more, I'd say, textbook. A lot more, I'd say, refined from what we've seen. And there's a reason why the Sapphire squad went into the global stage, beat that Alter Ego Celeste roster at the very end of last year, because they know what they're doing around the map like Haven.
Exactly. Muffin, though, might go for the wide angle here, but Twirly, again, holding on to A main. Fortifying the defense that we have right here, might be able to get a pick off as soon as someone helps out. But I feel like Sapphire wouldn't go for those dry peaks unless they actually do. Twirly smoked off, but honestly, it's just to pick up smoke from the Astra as Muffin is slowly crouching and slowly moving towards. And again, no dry peaks, like I said. Muffin to take on the first kill here. They gotta just expect that, Dax. And now, with the ultimate coming in from the breach, one man down yet again. JD to go down, and it's now up to the 3 players here. Dalsky trying to fortify the defense still with that paranoia connecting. And Miha to take on a kill onto Sewers. It's still a 3v3.
Scrap here from Go Cyrene. Mia tried to back on away. The push a while from Muffin, making that space towards that A side. And it seems like it will be the lurk here from Ginny. Oh, Ginny, you're ready to catch Mia in the act. From this point on, Go Cyrene trying to figure out where Sapphire is headed
30
towards.
seconds left.
Seems like, though, they've gotten the message. C side gonna be the call. Hearing now that Spike being planted. They are gonna commit the lockdown, though. From this point on, it might be Ginny we have to watch out for. She has the Hunter's Fury. But then again, Sapphire actually backing on away, playing that long position yet again here.
I mean, they've played that post-plan position already from the previous round. Why not do it again? And at the same time, still have Util to play around with. They hear the tap off the Spike. Util's coming out as well, but Elsky is just trying to take on the Spike. The Spike is just diffused like that. This wasn't expected by Sapphire at all. They were just playing on a post-plant itself.
Yeah, sometimes it just happens that way.
Sometimes
I can't even
just stick it.
I can't even say like a thief in the night. It's literally someone stealing it right in front of you. And that is just has to hurt for Sapphire. The position was strong. The play towards A was already incredible from both Ginny as well as the entry of the Jet a while ago. But moving towards the C side, it just falls flat on their face. As a heartbreaker here from Sapphire, we've seen the discipline from Sapphire in terms of the execute strong. But a bit of a flub there, a hiccup along the road. And now Go Cyrene, yet again showing how scrappy they are, and in those kind of rounds, you can see why these trades are so important.
Exactly. If you talk about it, if we think about it, the 2 initial pickups that Go Cyrene had, the answer back towards that aggression, they were able to pick up on those skills and fight it off onto the next round. But look at this. As soon as Twirly swings out, Margot is there for trouble. Muffin knows exactly the sidelines here for the rest of the team, but they have to wait for this lockdown right now as the positioning of the Sapphire players, they go in on the side, ready for the plant, ready again for the post-plant position. Jaylee, though, might have a good angle here.
Yeah, the tower position, at least something to watch out for moving forward. Go Cyrene, though, yet again in positions on the retake. Love the paranoia. Katie hears that Muffin. Margot yet again prepared over onto Graffiti. 4 already for Margot, and it's ready again with Paulie on the opposite end. Sapphire play protection, and Sapphire will win another one.
And I feel like for Sapphire, A-side is just working out like wonders for them as well. Especially when they get the side free for the taking and no one to answer really from the side of Go Cyrene here. They just actually push in on the side and a really good post-plant position that Go Cyrene just cannot deny as of the moment. It's just too many traps coming in from Sapphire here. But like we mentioned a while ago, Dax, I feel like for Go Cyrene, the mistakes that Sapphire could give off here, they could really capitalize on it like they capitalized on the second round that they got as well.
I mean, that's how they get these frags in the first place. If Sapphire's a little too deep without that utility, that's where Go Cyrene can actually fight back. The scoreline, though, getting away from them. And here we go again. Economical state here for Go Cyrene. Pistols. Trying to, at the very least, go professional with Muffin steering straight through the default. And Muffin gets another one. Though the Muffin moment, she fights straight there. Along the way, Margo's still keeping an eye out. And all in all, it's just textbook yet again from Sapphire. The breach starts it over, and Muffin knocks those dominoes down.
It's now down to a 4v1 situation. Obviously, with the amount or with the guns that they have right now for Go Cyrene, an easy spray down from Sapphire is truly possible, and that's exactly what they did, coming in all the way from Muffin. But so far, for Delbski right here, she's just probably waiting for that exit frags at this point. And finally, Poli to close things off, 8-2. And so far, Sapphire is really doing extremely well when it comes to those takes and the attacker side.
It's just the standard of Sapphire, all in all. You can see that their journey from 2022 really has allowed them to hunker down, make sure the chemistry is there. That slow start from that last year, really catapulting them to that international success, to that APAC success at the end of last year at the very final elite tournament. So from that point on, isn't really Sapphire right now one of the teams you have to watch out for? They're the defending champions for good reason. They're here right now as one of the top seeds for good reason. And the way that they're playing, it really feels like that they're trying to prove that they're a cut above the field right now, especially in how efficient they are at playing off against or with one another, basically.
Like we mentioned, this team is probably primed to have the best chemistry so far from the teams that we have here in Game Changers. And so far, they're truly showing exactly like that. But you have to be really careful as well. Again, target on their backs. And anyone can read or anyone can actually try to study them as well. But so far, with the executions, especially on the takes that Muffin takes, or rather goes in on the side, and the entry that she gives, it's just clean cut.
Muffin's just in a position like that, and as of now, we got Sapphire here, prepared yet again, setting up towards Hell. Plan comes on in. Retaking the Cyrene. They're just gonna look for the bundle through the link anyway. Try to find it twirly though. Jaylee lobbing that flash, but doesn't check the side of the scope. Instead, it comes 2v2. It comes 2v none actually, as Paulie finds the 3k of her own. And Sapphire from that point on, they just wipe out those Cyrene in one fell swoop.
Well, any believers? 9-3 curse? Any believers out there? We are onto a 9-2 scoreline right now. And for this first half that we are looking at, not really the first half or the ending of the first half yet, but so far Go Cyrene still adjusting a little bit towards Sapphire's playstyle pacing. It's just too fast for them so far right now. And I feel like, again, they couldn't just get the balance when it comes to the economy side as well. So it's really been difficult when it comes to the guns.
Yeah, this hastiness right now of Sapphire really throwing Go Cyrene for a loop, and you can see that it's effective. Their economy. Again. In the meantime, though, Sapphire still prepared. Rolling Thunder. One more time, Paulie, linchpin of any kind of pay, execute, dash on in. One more time from Muffin. Go Cyrene have learned their lesson here, TRR. They back away, play from Link, and will go for the 5v5 retake. Instead, the flag also from 22.
You want
They
to
have
fight it?
all the utils right here, but Margot also has the Cosmic Divide, making things a little bit tougher on the side of Go Cyrene here. Miha already throwing in on the classic just to make a little bit of a diversion towards the side of Sapphire with a aftershock coming in. Fault line as well might be an execute right now for Trike. Wow, what shot coming in, especially that was a dash out. Margot and Paulie just making trades after trades here, but nothing really to trade about because Jaylee, one man down, and Paulie just shot her down still in the end. Sapphire, what a round and what an execution from the first half.
Yeah, we're gonna throw it over to the panelists for halftime.
One enemy remaining.
It's safe to say that that was a really excellent start for Sapphire. I don't know if we can quite say the same for their opponents, but for Sapphire, like we predicted, it's looking great.
I mean, this match took a little bit of time to get off the ground, but Sapphire certainly looks so hot in Haven, and it just doesn't seem like Ghost Cyrene can keep up with the pace of Sapphire. Like when it comes to the firepower, both teams are great, but there's just so much better map control awareness on the side of Sapphire. You can tell during their post plans, they're so ready for every single angle. And even though, like, let's say they might get picked off, one of them goes down or whatever, they're still so prepared for every kind of scenario.
Yeah, really quick reflexes and utility usage as well. I like to highlight, like, immediately it's going to be there to try and counter like that. One round, of course, where we saw Margot get that 4K. She was hit by that paranoia, the flash on the opposite team, but her teammate was able to swing out, kind of like cover that position off the back of that. Margot was able to get a 4K. And if you consider the only 2 rounds that the side of Cyrene have won, one was where they had the weapon advantage, and another was a kind of pro stone fake moment where you just saw them holding onto that spike for dear life and getting it through. So far, it seems like there has to be something that's significantly in their advantage when it comes to weaponry, or it has to be a lucky moment like this. And in the second half, I feel like Sapphire, they have the momentum, they have the strats, they have like the pacing of the game, like you mentioned. It's gonna be a really rough comeback.
Exactly, and that's what concerns me about Ghost Cyrene. It doesn't seem like any of the rounds that they, won were really done with enough conviction. Because, like you mentioned, that time that they just stuck it. It just so happened that Sapphire was prepared for that moment. They were. It's just that I think they underestimated their opponents, or they overestimated how prepared they were, and it just didn't work. It was just like a little bit of a mistake that Sapphire did on their end. But it wasn't like, Ghost Cyrene, they still have to push this. There is still a chance. After, like, let's say, what happened at VCT Lock-in, there still is a chance for these kind of comebacks. So we're gonna see if they can do that, miracle run as we step into our next half on Haven.
Back to our casters, and here we go.
Of course there's a chance. Come on, Sarah, right? You can feel it. Go Cyrene.
Exactly.
They want to fight. They want to go.
The thing is, these are Filipino players,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And the 9-3 has passed already, okay?
Oh.
So to all the Filipinos that are actually watching this stream right now, the 210 curse is the new
Absolutely.
curse.
The mythical
Exactly.
scoreline. That is
You
the
have to
one
believe.
scoreline that any Filipino would like to see come back from. And
Exactly. You gotta believe, dude. You just gotta believe. But here we have the swap already onto the side. And Ghost Cyrene going for that execute as well. Too early to start things off, trying to get a punish onto Trike, but Trike answers back. Oh, getting a double kill here. Trays after
One
trays,
enemy
and Polly
remaining.
and Trike just doing the deed here. Just doing everything for the team.
Classics, all you need, a free gun and a free 3K for Trike all in all. Go Cyrene, they want to fight, sure. Sapphire ready to throw a fist back at them. And perhaps this is where we could see for Ghost Cyrene where they can capitalize on how aggressive they've been playing, how active they've become around the map. But Sapphire, all in all, Trike has just been such a strong anchor, whether on the attack or the defending side. Formerly known as Baby TZ, well, apparently the only one crying here will be Ghost Cyrene at the end of it if this keeps up. Turret gets broken by the Frenzy, but Sapphire, they have the spike, and KDG needs to find some of these isolated duels if she wants to stand a chance of this one.
I mean, take a look at how Sapphire is positioning right now. Every corner, every angle is already looked upon.
30
is
seconds
already
left.
getting taken over with and putting in control. They're really asserting dominance here on the start of the rounds that we are looking at. Despite trying for Ghost Cyrene to really push in on the side and really make that open or entry towards the side coming in from Turley.
They demand a fight.
The shots
What are we
just
to
didn't
disobey?
hit, and Trike was just a little bit tad faster towards the side, and good anchor, like you said, even getting a triple kill, if I'm not mistaken, on this round.
Yeah, I believe they went after Margot first also, who was playing on the opposite side of C. Really just goes to show, though, if you understand how the jet dash is going to come at you towards the C side, if you position yourself behind that box and you're not getting much utility coming your way to, I'd say, stun you or give that intel, then there's still a chance for someone really firmly footed on the ground to actually catch out those kind of rotations, those kind of entries. And we've seen that from Trike over and over again for the Sapphire roster all throughout her career. The Sapphire squad looking absolutely dominant. I look at their past results here, Taylor, and the last time they played Haven was against RRQ Kaguya in the Swiss stage, that former Ego Celeste roster in dominant fashion. You know this is their map. You know this is where they want to play. And Muffin tagging the feet of Twirly, forcing her to dance the night away and stay by guard.
She needs to wait a little bit longer here. Muffin knows exactly where she is, and she just burns the dash away. Just like that. Maybe a factor here to consider for Go Cyrene, knowing they are on a pistol, and aside from that, they need also that tailwind in the way to make something happen on the side itself. They're taking this very slow, and so far, as the turret being pinned down on B side, this will give a brief idea towards Sapphire where to look.
That's Inklings, that intel, and now we get it again from Ginny, prepared to mow it down. Even the shock darts towards Twirly.
30 seconds left.
Already from the Sova. Oh, Cyrene though, preparing yet again to try and force the hand of Sapphire. They move now towards the side. Jaylee looking to lead the charge as Pauly's there, ready to receive one more time. The push comes courtesy of Ginny. KDG's on the opposite to make the trade happen. But the damage has been done. Miha caught with the hammer out.
10 seconds
It might
left.
be time to find the bulk with a shorty. There you go. Boom goes the dynamite. And Sapphire 1 round away from winning out the first map.
Point.
Let's end
Again,
this.
that just goes to show how important this pistol rounds is, especially on half times, especially when you're trying to come back from a score like 2-10. Yeah, you just have to take the pistol round, and if not, you're just gonna have a very difficult time trying to make a comeback happen. But yet again, this is match point for Sapphire, and so far for Go Cyrene, their first buy round. Unfortunately enough, not enough to actually be able to buy a full armor here on this round even. Sapphire just looking very strong, and I feel like for Go Cyrene, they just have to adjust a little bit on that pacing. And once they have adjusted to it, they can make something out of that positionings as well.
Well, it's up to them to set the pace now with the rifles that they have. It's not the best buy, but they have to make do anyway. Sapphire knows they can play this smart if ever. Look for macro, look to find picks instead, and even get into another round. Winnable committed position though from Muffin. Keep an eye out on this Spectre. She's really communicating here with Ginny, especially to give that intel to find those inklings of an angle towards A long. Twirly's already looking to lead the charge. Jaylee's right beside her. Changing your corners! There's the punish already. Jaylee though with a trade. Finding response. Very close encounter here from Margot. Delbs always dies. Mia's next though to fight back, and it's just a roll call right now. Trade after trade. But Sapphire's the one in position for this one.
Exactly, especially for Go Cyrene. They don't have the smoker anymore. They don't have that duel as well. They just gotta find these picks one by one as well. 3v1 situation. Still very much doable for the side of GOC right here. Miha now planning the spike for that extra money and finishing things off 3-12. Again, big chance right now for Go Cyrene to just get that, grab the momentum that they have currently. It's just a feel like an overwhelming factor that Sapphire is bringing into the table. But as soon as they are able to capitalize on the intel they have right now, seems to be a clear shot and a clear take onto the side.
Yeah, I mean, they're good shots, that's for sure, here for Go Cyrene. And that time, they found the timing. That time, they found the angles towards Sapphire. Sapphire played it in such an all-in fashion where they were in committed positions towards A lobby, towards C garage, and it really didn't pan out the way that they wanted. Good trades, though, as we go into another one. Sapphire, they just want to get the job done here, Theodore. You can see that Muffin's already picking up a Guardian. Go Cyrene. For the ace sprint instead. Intel here from being provided by Ginny, but they know what's up. They know this defense right now is around that Jet, that Sova. Updraft here from Twirly. Reposition behind the box. Pauly though with the takedown. Sapphire still has the cross ready. They have the setup that they need. And the clear is there from Twirly to get two. But Pauly is just a rock. Pauly is unstoppable. And there is just no stifling the Sapphire defense whatsoever. Clinical and well done by Sapphire to take the first map 13-3.
By the books. They just did it by the books right here that we have and we just witnessed on game number 1. And you could just see the power that they can bring to the table, not only on the attack but on the defense as well. The core of the team just really making and holding down the fort on the site itself. And not only that, when it comes to the entry, like I said, Go Cyrene just seems to be a little bit more overwhelmed and more comfortable side. It's gonna be on to Sapphire, and with this take, especially with a very dominant win on map number 1, in a map which, if I'm not mistaken, they picked as well. It just goes to show that this team is one of those teams that is primed for the top and you have to look out for them.
I think Sapphire right now is the team to beat on Haven, and many eyes looking on these defending champions to move even further into the bracket. Can go Cyrene cause the upset though? As we move into the set, we'll find out after a bit of a break. When we return, it will still be more here at Open 1. This is Game Changers. Dax and Taylor, see you guys in a bit.
Welcome back to the panel, guys. Mika Fabs once again with Zach. And we have to say that, Sapphire, they really are living up to the hype that they drummed up last year, bringing it over here onto 2023, especially against Go Cyrene. I have to say, Go Cyrene, like, there is, of course, because we come from the same region, I do want to believe, but it just seems like, they were just taking there were too many opportunities that were missed. And Sapphire's reads were just so on point. You cannot take your time too much with a team like Sapphire, especially since, as the casters have mentioned, as we have noted as well, this was an incredibly fast-paced game wherein Sapphire was just dictating how quick the rounds would be.
Yeah, it looked really, really rough for them, to be honest. I think Cyrene, they just weren't prepared for the onslaught kind of like coming in their way from Sapphire. If you look at the scoreboard here, I think that's just a testament to how it was basically at the end of the day a team diff. You didn't have individual brilliance coming out of some players on the side of Cyrene, like Miha as well as KDJ. I think these are the two with the most amount of experience as well. Twirly, I feel like they didn't have enough time on the opposite half either on attack. I think Twirly didn't have the chance to make as much of an impact as she could have. But, if you look at the scoreboard for Sapphire, it's a group effort. And that's what we saw, right? Time and time again, you saw players like just being able to trade each other out, use like utility really, really well, and be able to just pop off.
I do have to say, on the side of Go Cyrene, I really did love how Miha was like really trying her best. It was able to get so much value, like for example, out of like the Hunter's Fury that she was able to do in one of the earlier rounds. But I mean, like, just look at the dominance of Sapphire over here. On the side of Sapphire, oh my gosh, Margot is just amazing. She's such an amazing controller that she doesn't even need the skills. It's just pure firepower that she can just amazing. Like, she would take like double kills all around, and then that memorable 4K that we saw from her. She's just definitely one of the layers that Go Cyrene has to peel back in order for them to take a win from Sapphire. But just trying to digest everything that Sapphire has shown us. Again, this is definitely one of the top teams that we have. I think that Go Cyrene, they really have to do something that's a bit a bit funky, maybe a bit out of the box for them to just, bamboozle Sapphire here, because it seems like Sapphire just knows exactly what they're going to do and have them read like a book.
Like a book indeed. I think one thing that also plays a factor into this, while they're like we talked about, while there are individual really good players on Cyrene, they've been playing together for like a very comparatively lower amount of time. It's been like a couple of months tops, and meanwhile Sapphire, they've had the same kind of synergy and force since like 2021. This is a team that went to an international LAN and came back, and they're like still together. So I think that's a testament to the kind of difference between these two teams as well. I think that does matter. Let's take a look at who is going to be the MVP for this particular map at the very least. I think that it is going to be Polly coming up on top on that breach. Great utility usage, but more than that, just being able to hold down some of these power positions like we saw in that last round. Just hold strong, be that rock that the rest of the waves crash against. And yes, it is waves because it's specific, but yeah, just be that kind of stronghold that the team really needed. I think that's just a huge testament to the kind of player that she is and how she has grown as well. Because last year you would have seen Polly with maybe 30 assists, with 324 ACS, not so much. So they've definitely been putting in the work as well.
I also love how, with regards to Sapphire, you could just see them passing the ball around in each of those players. They each had their moments where they would really like pop off. Polly, of course, as you can see here as our MVP, was definitely one of those. Ginny had her moments as well. Muffin did too. Trike or Baby Teasy did as well, and so did Alyssa. So I feel like, Sapphire, they really are on fire right now. We're gonna see though if that fire can continue onto map number 2 as we head into this quick little break before we continue with Go Cyrene versus Sapphire.
Coming off the bench now. wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Get money.
Let's get the
Get money.
let's get the
Get money.
Welcome back to VCT Game Changers APAC, where we are currently on to map number 2 between Go, Cyrene, and Sapphire. Mika Fabs here on the desk, along with Zach, our quote-unquote VCT Game Changers expert, as she has been dubbed just very recently. Now, Sapphire previously took Haven in quite a dominant fashion, and we are heading into Ascent this time. And Zach, the last time these two teams met, as I cushioned the blow earlier, it was not pretty, but basically it was a 13-1 score.
It was a stomp. Let's just call it what it is. It was a stomp, 13-1. Sapphire kind of dominated it, so it's pretty interesting to see Cyrene pick it up again. I think that this is twofold, because aside from that loss to Sapphire, the previous 2 times that they did pick it up in the Swiss stage, they were able to win in a very convincing fashion. So perhaps it's just that map where they have a little bit of confidence, because let's face it, this is a newer roster. I know the players have a lot of experience individually, but when you're in this kind of situation, you want to go back to that comfort ground where you have proven to have some success before. So I think that could be a reason why Ascent is a pick. But more than that, this is a map where Sapphire have proven to be vulnerable over this course of the Swiss stage. Because if I'm not wrong, they lost to SMG 8-13 on this map, and perhaps it seems like this team was able to do a little bit of research, maybe find a water or two. I'm not sure, but that could give them a little bit of confidence heading into Ascent as well.
I mean, like we mentioned earlier, it's kind of better to know what you're up against rather than something that, you don't even know how to attack exactly. And because as you mentioned that Sapphire haven't exactly looked like, pristine on this map, this could be like, where Go Cyrene can strike best. The question is, of course, is if they've learned from their previous encounter, what information can they take from that and into this? And are Sapphire going to evolve from what they've shown? Because it seems like from what we saw on Haven, it doesn't seem like Go Cyrene can keep up with the pace that Sapphire has right now. I'm pretty sure they're going to take that, Zach, into Ascent as well.
I mean, the nice thing about Ascent compared to Haven is that it's a little bit more defender sided. So whichever side you're on, it kind of dictates for a slower pace of play because of the way the map is structured. You want to go in for a little bit of more default. You want to have more of those information initiators on your side of the map and try to play off the back of that rather than just go for a blind rush. Because even if you're like the best team in the world, if you're just trying to WP it in, all it takes is one person camping with a judge in a corner to kind of like demolish your attack completely. So
we've seen that happen so many times.
Too many times. So
yes, indeed.
I think that's about it. Like, just because of how the map is structured, you are going to be seeing both teams forced to play kind of slower, and that might be to Cyrene's benefit.
Yeah, but I feel like for Sapphire, that seems like something that could easily be read, and we saw it earlier on Haven. That it just seems like if you take that slow approach, Sapphire, they're gonna decode exactly what they're gonna do, and they're gonna find a way around it. So that's my biggest fear, I guess, with Go Cyrene is that they need to be able to go Cyrene into Ascent. And as for Sapphire, it just seems like they're dotting their I's and they're crossing their T's, and it doesn't seem like it doesn't even seem like they need to do anything that's like too strange or like they don't need to put any of their wild cards down just yet, because it just seems like this team is just it just feels like another day in the office for them.
For real, and the last time these two teams faced off, I think that Muffin was the biggest difference maker. I know it's 13-1 and overall it was a team difference, but Muffin had like almost a 400 ACS on that Jet. So, I called this heading into this particular series. I think that, Muffin is at this point one of the best Jet players or duelist players right now in the game changer circuit in APAC, especially with NRE not being around. I think that it's at the end of the day, Twirly has a lot to step up to. We've seen her being able to take that pressure on certain agents like Neon, especially on maps like Fracture if it does go to that map number 3. But I haven't seen as much of Jet coming out of her. And I think that with the experience that Muffin has and the kind of synergy that she has with the team and the rest of Sapphire over the course of the last 2 years, I think that is just like one of the biggest difference makers into this. Because when you can set up somebody like Muffin with the rest of your team to just be able to pop off and perform, I think that it's really, really hard to kind of replicate that without the kind of experience that Sapphire have gained over the course of the last few years.
Well, we do see this one big change coming in on the side of Go Cyrene, which is that Jaylee will be taking over KO instead of the Reyna compared to last time they met. I like this a little bit more. There's a bit more utility to play around rather than, forcing the double duelist in. And it's all going to boil down to Swirly, as you mentioned. She has to have that head-to-head with Muffin, especially since that didn't go too well in the earlier map. I feel like now with Jaylee taking on, more utility to assist Swirly, perhaps that's gonna, we're gonna have more results coming in. And I feel like, on the side of Sapphire, this is just them like, okay, well, it's not broken, so why fix it? Why adjust?
I mean, it's arguably the most meta comp that you see for Ascent these days. I know there's a little bit of variation with other initiators and stuff, but overall, this is pretty much what you expect to see. Like you said, Mika, if it isn't broke, we don't need to fix it. And they've been doing a really good job so far. Like even that game they lost to SMG, from what I saw off the kind of scoreboard, it was very back and forth. And even though SMG won at the end, I think that it came down to Sapphire not being prepared for how strong SMG were more than anything else. But we've been yapping enough. Let's throw it to our wonderful casters for the day and let them take us into the game. Take it away, Dax and Terrar.
Thank you so much, Mika and Zach. Welcome back again to map number 2. Can Go Cyrene actually push this to map number 3 later on, or Sapphire will go again unscathed? They were on Dax as your casters for this map. And I was gonna say, I just wanted to add on to that panel that we had a while ago that we might be expecting a slower play, but honestly speaking, if you have that kind of momentum from game number 1, especially coming from Sapphire, I just wouldn't stop. But that's just me, you know? I went to episode showdown and I lost.
Come on, I'll believe you. I'll get on the same boat. You can slow things down, sure, but the way Sapphire has been playing is, okay, our executes are working. You can allow Muffin to just get in there and cause bedlam. Let's just keep going at it. And it's pretty much the same composition we're getting in standard here for the side of Sapphire especially. You still have that breach for Polly, very effective with the utility. Muffin on that Jet, Margot on that Astra. It's just case in point right now for Sapphire that this is the way that they want to make things work. On the other side though, I look at Ghost Cyrene and perhaps there's a chance. We look back into the Swiss stage and all in all, we were honestly robbed of a proper matchup on a map like this between Ghost Cyrene and Sapphire. As far as I remember, Twirly had some network issues or power issues, and that really caused the whole series to go the way of Sapphire, even ending in the forfeit at the very end. So this is the redemption they're looking for. This is the revenge Ghost Cyrene wants to do it at, and especially now with that KO adjustment, they know if they can get a big suppress going, that can really throw such a wrench in the plans of Sapphire here.
Exactly, because as soon as Sapphire goes in onto the site, obviously you have to play around those utils that they're also throwing in onto the site itself. And if we can remember from map number 1 that we just saw a while ago, Sapphire is a team that can play with raw firepower duo, but aside from that, they can also play out with the util plays, and they can outplay you from time to time. That's why it is very important and very essential right now for Ghost Cyrene to be specifically moving as a unit, you know, making those steps towards making better entries and actually punishing the players, because obviously speaking, it's still a shooting game. By the end of the day, it's either you defuse or, you know, plant a spike or go kill them all.
I thought we killed with utility here. I thought the guns were just for show.
Oh, really?
But yeah, it's
I
just
forgot.
designed. That's how you flex your skins there, or that's how you say, I spent money on this game. That's how you do it. Oh,
Are you
but we
pertaining to me who just bought the Oni bundle?
Oh, true. That's true. And then I look at all our fellow co-casters on the VCTVH side and just like, you guys all bought the
Why?
knives.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
believe it.
Why are we doing this?
I
We're
thought
giving
we-
it back to Valorant. That's how much
Exactly.
we love Valorant, guys.
We're giving it back to the game that gives us amazing opportunities. And speaking of opportunity, this is the opportunity for Ghost Cyrene. We talked about how this is something they wanted to run in this map pool. This is their map pick. And especially right now, I'm looking to see what Twirly and Jaylee can do with the Jet and the KO together. Immediately intel to figure out where Trike is going. Nano Swarm for the burn! And Trike with the takedown onto Twirly. A little too ambitious, perhaps a little too early here for Ghost Cyrene to try to cross Sapphire. Just so ready at yet again. And at the beginning, it will be the end here by Speedway. No velocity whatsoever for Ghost Cyrene as Sapphire just hits the brakes on them fast.
That util play is just way beyond what Ghost Cyrene can expect here. They got toasted by the Nano Swarm. You get fault line, you get aftershocked. There's just no space at all for Ghost Cyrene to actually take on the side here. They just get burned by utility plays, and this is exactly what I was talking about earlier, Dax. And the thing is, they already managed to, you know, pull off. They got a KO. They can detect players. And aside from that, the most important thing is they can actually suppress them. So they got to make this work, especially in this kind of composition here now on round number 2.
Yeah, they're gonna need to at least extinguish those embers early before playing with fire, burning them along the way. It just seems like though here for Ghost Cyrene, they just want to make sure they're not getting blown out of the water right now by Sapphire and their utility placement. But Sapphire's core composition, something they've been running again and again on maps like this. You can see how effective and how, I'd say, the expertise rather, of these players are on these specific agents. Paulie prepared to keep an eye out towards main, towards Cubby, Margot. Just set up a bit of a crossfire. The discipline right now for Sapphire. They know the execute's coming. These are Ghost Cyrene trying to get the clear going. Twirly, though, a little too slow on the peaks. Has to burn the dash away because of the stun. Dash shots there, too. Peaks at that. Nice shot off the Margot. Paulie with a trade. And Sapphire looking to retreat towards A site himself.
Problem with that kind of peak is there's no one to trade you. There's just an aftershock already swinging onto the side of you as well, and there's just no one that can follow you up. Aside
30 seconds
of
left.
course, if you get the double kill, but unfortunately not for the side of Ghost Cyrene. They're slowing Or rather, they're going in
Last
slowly
player
but surely.
standing.
KDG here,
Spike down
33
B.
HP remaining onto her. A spray down from Trike, and again, Trike holding down the fort on B. No problem on A, because Margot and Polly is just waiting for you as well.
Yeah, everyone has a home right now here for Sapphire. Everyone is just absolutely coordinated. And yet again, a matter of discipline for a squad this long-lasting. Sapphire, the team many are touting to beat. You have contenders, of course, sure, to the crown. But Sapphire were the ones who won it at the very end of last year. You look now, teams like Team SMG, RQ, they're above the build. And the way that they've been just so effective right now here on the defense, even in that last map, it's really just the same old story for Sapphire to continue on their, I'd say, higher echelon of play compared to the rest.
Now it's down to display for picks coming in from Cyrene as of the moment. But yet again, they have the guns, one Guardian onto Miha, but they're taking it really, really slow. They couldn't find a pick off at all because at the same time, Sapphire wouldn't dare peek. You know, it's a big problem for Cyrene. The thing is, no matter how much you wait and no matter how much the time dwindles down, if no one's gonna peek, you just gotta push and you have to make something happen. Especially you are in the attackers here for Cyrene. A little bit too difficult for them in trying to have a good read here, especially who on site. But Twirly trying to make some waves, not hitting anything yet, and smoked off immediately from Sapphire as well.
Yeah, Sapphire just has all that discipline in spades. You can see how they refuse to peek towards main. It's only Cyrene trying to find the punish on. Time running out though, and as
30
you mentioned,
seconds left.
Cyrene, they're gonna need to execute sooner rather than later. Twirly's so far away. So lurking towards that A site, it's gonna be a normal siege here from Cyrene if they want to make the retake work. They already have the smoke in the way. KDG crossing through the speedway. Time running out. Ginny hits the goal tassel for cover, and Trike's just ready. Trike's picking up the gun, and she wants to go for more. Two already here for Trike. Ginny's prepared on the opposite end.
One
and you
enemy
just
remaining.
need to see your hands
Spike
up.
down,
Trike
B.
with another takedown, and Sapphire just dismantle Cyrene from whatever they're planning.
They just have such good reads here coming in from Sapphire. Converting that bonus round is already a big thing for them. But other than that, if you think about it, you could just feel how doubtful Cyrene is whenever they try to go in on the site itself. I was actually expecting after that knife coming in from Akeo that there's gonna be an execute happening on the site, especially if someone get caught by the knife. But again, a double innie on the lineup that they have right here. They can get intel upon intel, but they just couldn't find any intel at all. It's either a shutdown from a util or a shutdown completely from a smoke that they just couldn't find a pick off here. And for Cyrene, Dax, I really feel like moving forward along these rounds, I don't think Sapphire is ever gonna peek towards you aside from the times they want to change the pacing. So Cyrene really has to be doubling down on the decision that they want to do.
Yeah, what hurts right now for Cyrene is they get intel, sure, or they get space through their intel gathering material, but they can't really execute on it, whether it's a bit of fear of the Sapphire potential position or just how Sapphire is positioned themselves. Any single time someone decides to be ambitious there, they're burning to utility, and it has conditioned them to play in a slower space instead. So far, it will have to be fixed like this. That didn't happen towards Twirly. Muffin gets the takedown. But if those first tools go in the favor of Cyrene, that's their chance. If it doesn't, then Sapphire can just hang back and play to the advantage.
What a shot right there. And also I want to add into that as well. When you think about it, the first contact towards the players here of Sapphire is Margot, for example, and Polly is just gonna throw in on a fault line as well to try and punish. It just works out wonderfully for the side of Sapphire, and they just don't have trouble in trying to get this initiating fights because they know how to force you out of your comfort zone. And time again, Sapphire has been doing that. They keep pushing the players here of Cyrene out of their comfort zones, out of their playstyle that they're trying, or actually the entry that they're trying to make onto the site.
Right here.
They just stopped it.
Yeah, like throwing that comfy hoodie in the laundry right now.
Flash.
It's really Cyrene caught for a loop.
30
Flash comes
seconds
in.
left.
Jaylee still wanted to fight it anyway. Ginny with the find on the KDG instead. And the Cubby control being vied for, but Sapphire. Chance. And one more proof of maturity. Back away towards the side. Nobisky though does find Muffin. Stellar shooting has been the biggest game changer here for Go Cyrene. But the Blue's ready on the opposite. It's Miha through the window. Cracks the skull of Ginny. Margot finds two though. And on site they're anchored. They're prepared. And there's no chance for objective here for Go Cyrene. A few kills. That's all they get on the attack.
Despite getting the guns here from Sapphire, it's just not enough. Especially with your initial shot towards Twirly, the duelist, the only duelist of the team. It's more than difficult to make an entry happen. Despite that, they still managed to pick up some good shots towards the side of Sapphire. And actually, this looks promising so far for Go Cyrene. If they can make those shots count from time to time, maybe punish the economy of Sapphire as rounds go by, it still can be doable. And I really think that it's very essential for Go Cyrene here to stabilize the economy that they have as well.
A bit more on the macro sense, right? Figure out how they're gonna go for the buys for some of these rounds. But momentum is essential, and now Twirly dashing on in. Just to die red immediately by Marco. KDG though, nice little step to move over onto Jenny. KDG for the Ilbiski actually, and it does lead to a 2v3. Damage being done there by Sapphire. They still have the rafters position in that second floor. The elevation, really the awareness from Muffin to find Jaylee even over onto Jenny. Now KDG cornered and captured. Sapphire clean as possible. No rounds to the attack so far.
Like I said, they're just too good when it comes to pushing you out of your comfort zone. We all saw just how one player got stuck onto Jenny with the shock darts going in and punishing her, and even the recon connecting towards KDG. It's just too difficult, especially knowing the positioning already from Sapphire's end, and it's a 3v2 situation in the end. Again, 5-0 is what we have here so far. Very clean rounds coming in from Sapphire. Not only that, but Margot already has a Cosmic Divide they can use up here, and Ginny's not too far off. Even Trike is not too far off when it comes to utility play on their ultimates.
Yeah, Sapphire's just looking to step on up now and put even more pressure towards mid. Here, though, the blades from Twirly, a saving grace, perhaps. Sheriff's on the other side.
Standing ahead.
And, well, here for Go Cyrene, it's a pretty simple thing we say in the Philippines. Tap mo na yan. Just find those taps right here, Taylor. Look for the shots. Pressure, though, from the copy. Ollie, though, seen and gonna get taken down. There was an attempt from Muffin to try and help one out, but Muffin instead tried to transfer aim towards the jet. Instead, it's Margot Trike on the board. Seems like Sapphire looking to collapse towards mid instead, and they get away with those kills.
Seems like they went all chat and said all mid. And so much skirmish happened on to mid here. But again, moving away victorious more on the opposition is going to be Sapphire with just 3-man advantage against the players here. Or rather, 2-man advantage against the players here of Go Cyrene. Delbski and Miha going along together right now, trying to find and maybe get some angle to get some pickoffs as well. And also, I want to add on to this, Dax, while they're moving slowly as well, that for Go Cyrene, I have to yet see more of the trades here, especially on that buddy system.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. We've seen from Sapphire how coordinated they are. One's being pressured, someone is there for cover, someone's there for the refrag if ever. And while Go Cyrene is running out of time, or in this case, have ran out of time to try and win this round, Sapphire is just so stable. You can see that there's always that buddy system. They're trying to protect one another. One ability to just flush out the opposition. And Margot even through the smoke. This is impressive to see. Lovely stuff here from Sapphire. And there really is no stopping a squad like this right now, the way they're playing.
Well, the good sign here for the side of Go Cyrene is that they also have a lockdown to play around now on the specific round. And they will be able to buy off as well completely. So complete armors, complete rifles as well going in onto this. And aside from that, Mia is also up for the grab of the orb basically, and Jaylee as well. So they can have lots of util play here. It's important to play A main correctly though. With a Silver Drone spotting one enemy onto Wine, that gives them a brief idea. It might be again a buddy system here from A main.
Yeah, well, at the very least, that pressure from Cubby can allow opportunity here for Ghost Cyrene. Committed position for Muffin and Margot. Already, you see the Asha fall, and Muffin has to fight for her life to try and make this work. Flash comes, and Ginny's there on the board. Paulie finds another one too, but Miha from main, at least with the angles and the range to duke it out towards the site. And it leaves everything to Trike. That's a good cleanup here from Ghost Cyrene. They found the angles of opportunity. And with Trike in the 1v3, finds the head of Miha there. Locked down now. Buying for some time, some space even. Only in KDG. They have a futility to work with. That lockdown 2 in the hands of Ghost Cyrene can be effective. But they will back on away instead. And allow Strike now to play towards the site itself. Turret is there, and she knows that one is so low. The turret actually get that kill if ever. Nice suppresso from Jaylee. Waiting for the swing right now from Ghost Cyrene. Transfer over to KDG, but Jaylee's ready for the refrag. You're waiting for the buddy system, and hand in hand, Ghost Cyrene make it happen.
Finally, the buddy system, and it works out great. It works out wonders if you have those trade-offs. No matter if one player gets punished again from Ghost Cyrene, there's someone to take back those kills that they were able to pick up against the team itself. And again, Jaylee making sure that at least throwing off those utilities, especially the knife, was very essential for the team. We all know how low one of the players, if I'm not mistaken, it was KDG as well.
Yep.
We all knew how low she was. And again, like you said, it can be a kill coming in from a turret. So good execution coming in from Ghost Cyrene, and I feel like if they just continue on making these rounds happen a little bit more faster, not too wary onto making on those entries happen and just trying to get the punish onto the site, they are actually capable of making a comeback happen here. Especially, this is just the first half right now that we are looking at, and the defense, obviously, on Sapphire has just been phenomenal, up to a next level.
Yeah, faster and smarter, especially. We saw there, because of that Cubby control that moved into the tree area, it effectively cut off Margot from the rest of Sapphire. And you can see how they just waterfall down from the rafters to try and protect that Astra, try and buy that space from Muffin to no avail. Those situations where Ghost Cyrene can get the jump onto Sapphire, it's a perfect opportunity for them to have those numbers, to make those trades, because we know they're stellar at the shooting. We know they're really good at hitting those shots. Theodore. Only problem, it's either they don't have the numbers for it or the guns to use. So this
Or
time
the
around,
confidence even.
or the confidence, yeah. So this might be the time for them to have a new beginning, so to speak.
Exactly. They just need that confidence boost, and that round may be doing it already for the rest of the team. They have so many utilities they can play around with, starting off with the initial lockdown that we are looking at. And I like how Sapphire is positioning here. I think they know exactly and counting exactly how many utilities GOC has currently right now. But again, a free take onto the site as Sapphire prepares for that 5-man retake later on.
Spike planted.
You know, the Hunter steering was for the plant rather than the lockdown. She's seeking out the target or two. Miha though with a find onto Polly, but Margot and Trike positioned yet again from Sapphire, punishing the ambitiousness of Ghost Cyrene along the way. Delbisky playing towards Jenny, hit by the stun and hit by Margot too. 1-2 punch, make that a triple for Margot. Maximum overdrive here for Sapphire, and the retake secured yet again. Just decisive defense from Sapphire all in all.
If you think about it, Delbisky actually pushed back or went back towards Jenny because of the reason that she is actually hearing Margot trying to push in. If we can see it exactly in this moment, and as soon as Delbisky actually go in to the site, that's exactly where the concuss of the Astra is as well. Sapphire having good reads left and right here against Ghost Cyrene, just paving through the way maybe on making this 2-0 happen yet again. If we take a turn back onto time, we mentioned it a while ago at a panel, they met here before. And again, I feel like for Ghost Cyrene, it must be, or it can be, a comeback match for them, you know? It was 13-1 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this is where perhaps we can see that redemption, but then again, Sapphire, the numbers still speak for itself, Taylor. You can see how dominant they are, you can see how much money they have. They have the ult here, and as soon as the Alton is there, Margot's ready to just be a flock with it. Fly into action, get that takedown. No real trade from Ghost Cyrene whatsoever. It's Horley instead, using that opportunity to move into the smoke. And the Sapphire gets kills like this for free, then it's just gonna be easy pickings towards A. Even KTG spotted, luckily doesn't get taken down by Polly and Trike. Upshot comes there. courtesy of Muffin. But beyond that, it's still Sapphire, so stationed, so prepared for wherever Ghost Cyrene's going.
It just makes it more difficult, especially they have the operator already in the hands of Sapphire here. Maybe Polly going on for the swing here. Dabisky trying to go sway around as well and trying to get that double kill. She managed to do it. Margot, though, getting onto that trade yet again. This is what Sapphire is great at. 3v2 situation. They got the spike right now and trying to prepare onto that post plant as well. Twirly waiting patiently on the trees, but someone is actually lurking. It might be a sandwich play coming in from Sapphire.
Yeah, that push though from Delbisky, so well played alongside Mia. It's here for Sapphire, the background. There, it's just all up. Shot range one enemy but trying to push back, and there you have it. Again, Delbisky looking to pop off though, with a classic in hand, and the controller makes that difference work. Margot maximize all of those opportunities. And with another round here for Sapphire, you can see the foundations of going to the waist side yet again, Terror.
One enemy remaining.
You have to realize that at some point, at some degree, you just can't shut down one player from the side of Sapphire and not think about another. You know, there's always going to be trades, but aside from that, if one player gets punished, another is ready to step onto the play, ready to step up in making those clutch moments happen. And Sapphire so far, again, 8-1. Go Cyrene, officially a buy round yet again for them. They have that non-command to play around with if they want to use that. But other than that, we can also see that Trike is just using and utilizing Farm Bill right now with those orbs. But again, a take using a non-command, it's a start for them. And Trike rather, just waiting patiently, gets one. KDG with the trade here, but yet another for Trike. Maybe another third, or rather for the three. But Jaylee will be spotting her. Polly, on the other hand, another one for her. 2v1 situation as Muffin and Margot tries to pave their way onto the side, completely obliterating the players of Go Cyrene.
I think that's the term right now. Obliteration of Ghost Cyrene. Sapphire so stationed, so ready, and so prepared on the site. How does Strike get away with these kind of takedowns? Cornered in such a committed position. It's just that skill here from Sapphire right now. And when they realize there's someone still on site, guys, let's just go in. Let's actually just collapse on the opposition before this plant even goes down. The urgency was on Ghost Cyrene's favor instead. Sapphire was just so prepared all throughout to shoot them down, mow them down. And through
Standing
hit
ahead.
of B, where bodies go. Just
One suppressed.
amazing, honestly, from Sapphire. For lack of a better term, it's just so commanding right now from the way they've been playing. And yet again, Muffin just a step ahead. And speaking of that head, pops it away from Twirly. Sapphire absolutely on a roll.
Again, we're not seeing any trade-offs here from the rest of the players of Go Cyrene. And another one bites the dust. That's gonna be Dabisky, the controller of the team. And it's all up to one. Jaylee with the Sheriff right now playing around the spike way too far out of her reach, even if she gets or she managed to get a triple kill right now. And it's just too difficult for Go Cyrene to find that pick off. And you can see even on that last round as well. Again, going for the pop flash, one flashed out. She managed to take on one kill here. It's still doable, like I said, but Muffin, again, Sapphire just prepared to take on the trades after trades here. They're just unstoppable so far on map number 2, even from map number 1.
You know, the heartbreaker here for Go Cyrene is they know they can hit these shots. They know they can win these duels, but the opportunity themselves, they're controlled by Sapphire. And that's why Sapphire is in such a commanding presence right now in this game. It really has just been them be effective utility, be effective in position. And that's what a team does there, Terror. As far as I know, Go Cyrene, they're a relatively new roster into the Game Changers field. Sapphire has been here for years, and we know the leagues that they have been through together. But you can see right now that coordination fueled by fire and builds in the storm. Muffin yet again crackling the tower. Delbisky goes down.
No trade or anything at all yet again. Too early with the ult here, playing around onto the Judge. Jaylee to get one kill, but Muffin again just with a shorty, punishing one player yet again. They still have so much utilities to play around here when it comes to Sapphire, but one by one, again, teams are just dwindling down. It's all up against Sapphire, whose defense is just unbreakable so far, Dax. It's just crazy to see, if you think about it, that Sapphire is just playing this out so smartly. If you think about it, even a while ago, during a round where they were able to take on the site for Go Cyrene, but yet again, it just doesn't happen. Let's see what the panelists thinks about this later on when we go on our halftime break, but yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Tara. All right, well, Mika, that's. I didn't think it was possible for there to be any improvement for the side of Sapphire from Haven, but it seems like they've kind of taken that personally, because I think last time it was a 10-2 half, and this time it is 11-1, similar to what we saw coming through the last time they played this team on this map.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna tell you. I'm like, no, it's history repeating itself again, unfortunately. But you know, there's this thing with Go Cyrene. You can tell that they have not gelled just yet. For example, you know, we see, for example, Twirly. There is entry. You can see that she does get the entry in, but after that initial dash, there's a pause. There's a couple of seconds of hesitation, and that is their most vulnerable time. It signals to Sapphire that they are not on the same page. So for the side of Go Cyrene, they need better mid-round calls. They need better decision-making, because Sapphire, they can smell the hesitation, and that's when they know they can strike.
I like that you brought up the whole decision-making part of it, because we saw a lot of questionable decision-making coming out of the side of Cyrene. You know, a lot of dry peaks, like you have that KO, you have that Sova, please use them before you peak.
So much information.
Talking about Sapphire, patience, please, exactly. But you know, out of Sapphire, I think that they look even more coordinated, and like our casters brought up, it's just that experience that's speaking for itself. These girls have been playing with each other for a very long time now. They know each other in and out, and they're able to like really, without having to openly say it or explicitly do it, they're able to kind of just make these set plays that pay off huge for them. Of course, Muffin, the moment she picked up that operator, of course, that last shot as well, just sneaking through the door with that little bit of a shorty action.
No, you don't want to try her. You do not want to try her. Absolutely not. When Muffin has that op, just never ever, like, don't even try it, you know? But yeah, that's the thing with Go Cyrene. It's the heat of this competition, right? That's why you're in this competition, because you need to be pushed to that limit. So we're gonna see what happens in this next half, or what's left of it, as we head into this game again. Once again, casters, over to you guys.
Back at it again with the second half here. Taylor Dax, by the way, your casters. And I just want to go back to my point a while ago, Dax. The trades, we just have to look at it and find the trade-offs. And Sapphire has been playing it so smartly. Even when the time that Go Cyrene is planting the spike, they know that one person is planting the spike, and obviously it's a man advantage for them, and they capitalize on that. They just know how to use up these abilities. So far is working great for them, but I want to see more of Go Cyrene in this rounds.
Look, if you're talking about trades, Taylor, I think these are unfair negotiations right now. The terms and conditions have firmly been placed for Sapphire.
The EULA agreement!
Yeah, you have to read it sometimes. You gotta take that check mark properly. And unfortunately for Go Cyrene, they didn't get the memo. They're down by 10. And if they lose this pistol, it becomes even more difficult. Just a quick little heads up, guys. Sapphire is now on the attacking side. Go Cyrene is on the defense. Cans come on in. It's already the mid to B push here, courtesy of Sapphire, trying to clear out market towards doorway. And they know this pressure's towards CT, so instead, they're looking to funnel in towards the site itself. KTG right, Simon versus Muffin. And a second one to the Frenzy. Tries to get ready again. And again, a triple kill right now. The Frenzy looking to go ham, but Ginny will at least get a bit of those delusions gone. All left now to Margot in a 1v3 situation. Big damage done there by the anchor of KDG. And for Go Cyrene, we've seen those moments there, and that's exactly what they need in a fight like this. In a match like this, just outshoot the opposition.
I was so worried about the positioning of ZDG, but in the end, such a good anchor, and still capitalizing on the frenzy and the spray down as soon as people, or rather players, try to go down on the site itself. Finally, a good spark of hope coming in from Go Cyrene right here on the defense itself, and I feel like they can perform better here, knowing that they have specific utilities like KO knives that can suppress the players of Sapphire and stop them on their toes when they're trying to make an entry happen. And yet again, a good start, especially on a pistol round. You want to take it, you have to take it, knowing that this can be a big advantage. Now, Sapphire holding on to their frenzies right here. And of course, for Go Cyrene, can be a good spray down moment for them as they have the guns, as they have Spectres.
They're looking for those opportunities and small weaknesses here for Sapphire. That's exactly why they want to play a split towards main. They're testing the defense as the water swords at B side. Look at Muffin go though, that extra bit of damage, allowing them to get the take out of the Zelbisky. And even towards the main side, Sapphire right now in deep towards A. Miha finding the vanguard there of Muffin. But then again, damage done by the Aftershock numbers here for Sapphire too. And the executes yet again, looking absolutely crispy for Sapphire. Mia and KDG sticking around trying to assess the situation here.
Have to find a pick off, if not two. They want to make this happen or make this retake happen. But the good part is one or two of the players are very low in HP. Again, they have Spectres on their hand. Can be a spray down, playing around those utility. They know there's someone on A main. They know there's someone on side, but Ginny goes down. Again, very low in HP, but the fault line connects perfectly. Coming in from Polly, 2v1 situation. Miha is the only person alive right now. She has to defuse yet again. No info at all. One on Hell and one on the side. It's just gonna be exploding onto the side itself. A thrifty round for Sapphire, and yet again punishing an anti-eco here.
Match point.
Push those limits here for Sapphire, and you get the eco going. As soon as they hit that paranoia, as soon as they realize we can actually go further than Tree, move into the garden instead, it was enough for Sapphire to establish an anchor point of really a pivot point rather to make that A play work. They cleared out main, they got the space that they needed to allow the pistols to do the damage that needs to be done. The expertise yet again of Sapphire, just the pedigree right now, absolutely growing as this is their match points.
Especially when they were on the defense a while ago, they were just literally waiting on the side, and now they're just pressing W, literally going and pushing forward. If you think about it, Zelbisky didn't even get to set up her paranoia at all. She was just completely shut down by Muffin there. But anyway, this is going to be the match point right now for Sapphire, starting off with a drone and a dash in from Muffin here onto lane, trying to finish, or rather trying to find someone onto the corner. They learned their mistake a while ago, and now they want to go for the punish. KBG to go down, but yet again, Miha, this is the trade we're looking for. A 2 trade for them, but yet again, not enough to actually stop them on their toes. Sapphire getting the plant.
Did you see that push there from Muffin too, waiting for that third shot to the Aftershock, using it for a bit of cover, allowing her to do some damage, and the rest of Sapphire to just cascade towards the boathouse itself. Zelbisky and Jelly, they need to figure out what to do and fast, but the numbers, they're not aligned their way. The guns are just so ready for Sapphire, and in the end, they line up for Margot. Simply put and simply done. It's another one for Sapphire as they move on to the next round.
A clean execution, a clean 2-0, and clean trades after kills. You just have it all. A good foundation onto the side. They have good aim. They have literally good aim, crack aim as well. It's just too difficult to punish this type of scenario or this type of teams where they just play as a unit, they play on utilities very well, and again, like you said, Dax, they had the experience, and it just goes to show how strong this team is, and you really have to look forward for them.
Yeah, and even in these playoffs right now, you can see the level of difference courtesy of Sapphire. They are just above and beyond what is expected from them. They are really one of the teams to look out for. And of course, to break down all the action that went on in the series, we'll throw it over to the panel.
Thank you very much, casters. And yes, they are definitely one of the teams to look out for. But the thing is, Zach, I don't even think they broke a sweat, to be honest. I don't even think Sapphire here was really pushed. Again, as I mentioned earlier, it's just another day in the office for them. Go Cyrene, though, you know, it was a bit more of an improvement, I guess, from their previous matchup against Sapphire in this map, technically speaking, numbers-wise. But, you know, again, like we mentioned earlier during the halftime, this team, they just don't have that chemistry just yet, which is understandable given that, of course, Sapphire has been playing for more than a year now together.
Completely agree with you. Great points there, Mika, about the chemistry. But I think more than that, Cyrene, they have a bit of a confidence issue, which, like you mentioned, ties in with the lack of synergy. But they just seem like so confused as to what to do next. You know, they have a set plan, they go for a little bit of an execute, and then when that doesn't work out for them, they have so much trouble finding that successful mid-round adaptation. Even if you do look at the scoreboard here, which is going to be coming up for both of these teams over the course of the map, you can see like across players, there's going to be like a significant difference. Like for example, you know, again, it's going to be Margot coming off as that MVP on the Astra for the side of Sapphire. But if you compare every single role head to head, it does seem like there's just big team difference that's too much for the side of Cyrene to really overcome.
Definitely. And you know, for the side of Cyrene, we saw those 2 rounds. You know, it happened just because like one, the teamwork pulls through, and when KDG pops off, those are basically those 2 rounds, right? But so it does show that yes, they do have players, they do have the skill, but it just needs to come together. It can't be. You saw how effective, for example, Sapphire would, like, you know, with those very few attacking rounds, would just dash onto side. They had so much control over mid and B in just 5 seconds. It was quite amazing to behold. And for the side of Go Cyrene, you could sense that even on their attacking side, you know, those first few seconds of that first entry, they would kind of like, okay, do we go in with Twirly? Do we do this? And you could feel it. And that's what I feel like, you know, they really need to work on that second point, like what comes next after their initial point of contact.
Yeah, they just looked a little bit lost heading into it. I think that one of our casters did mention that Sapphire was reading them like a book, but they were. But it was also a fairly simple book to read. To be fair, like we have mentioned multiple times, it is kind of a new roster. They're going to take time to like develop their map pool, develop like their synergies together. And right now it's just moments of individual brilliance that they're kind of like driving upon. You know, the 2 rounds that they won, if we do look at them, the first one was off the back of being able to successfully get those trades, play as a team, and just try to take that 2v1 together, which is what worked out for them. The second round, of course, was that individual moment of brilliance which we saw coming in from KDG. So right now, these are the only ways that they're really able to convert the round. Contrast that with Sapphire, right? You have like really good set executes. They're able to quickly adapt mid-round. A lot of that credit goes to, of course, the IGL of the team, Ginny, who has proven to be an absolute beast. But, you know, let's take a look at the MVP for this particular series. I have a guess as to who it is. I just want to see, you know, who it's going to be at the end of it. Let's see if my prediction is correct. Yes, no, maybe?
Drum roll, please. No, we don't have a drum roll here.
Yeah, it's
Don't ask me to
yeah,
drum
we're
roll.
right.
But yes, Margot, oh my god, she is just so amazing. I mean, I know that we do have, you know, this amazing roster. We do have amazing players like Polly earlier had MVP. Muffin is just like hands down definitely a player. But like Margot is like I mentioned earlier, she does not even need the utility to be able to control a site. You know, she just needs a good gun in her hands, and she has just enough firepower herself. And it's not even anything that's like too flashy in any way. It's just her knowing the angles to cover. It's just her with, you know, this incredible anticipation, this sixth sense, and she's just able to, you know, she's just able to just give so much value to her team. On the side of Go Cyrene, though, I do want to point out though that as I mentioned, these are very skilled players, and that there was a bit of me like, you know, hoping, even though it was like maybe a numbers advantage on the side of Sapphire, there was something in me that was rooting for the players of Go Cyrene that like, but wait, it is still possible. It is still possible, you know?
No, I have completely feel that. Like I've been watching, like Truly, for example, I've been following her journey over the last year, and I really do want to see everybody win. It always sucks when somebody loses in Game Changers. Like I can, you know, in like a normal VCT match, I'm like, yeah, go team, and in this case, I'm like, oh yeah, go team. Also, please don't lose everybody else, and it's always so heartbreaking. But it's not over for them, you know. There is that lower bracket, and remember, this is just Open 1. It's the points that accumulate across, you know, the 3 opens that really decide the 6 teams that are popping off, and this is just going to be Cyrene's first one. But you know, before we head into the next match of the day, I think after that rush coming out of Sapphire, I think all of us need a little bit of a break. So we'll be right back. This is Zach and Mika. See you soon.